Hey everyone, stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, let the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we go live 30 minutes before market open, Monday through Friday. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the Discord, in the description to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. If you are here right now, say what up. Right now, S&Ps are up 36, Dow's up 353, NASDAQ up 97. What is going on? Sorry, I'm a little late today. Trying to get back in action here. I was actually gone all day yesterday and just trying to go. What's going on? Keith, Hank, Carl, Jeff, Faiz, Lion, Baltazar. How we doing? Hope you guys are ready to have a good trading day. Hope you guys are ready to have a good weekend for the fathers out there. Hope you guys are gonna have a good Father's Day. Let me just refresh this feed a little bit here, and we're gonna kind of get into things right now. Swing would have played a lot better. 3-year deal. Yeah, the market. I'm just trying to catch up a little bit here, man. The market was pretty much like an inside day yesterday. Looking at the SPY, I mean, there was just a bunch of chop. I mean, it didn't really go. The market didn't really go anywhere. I mean, we did have some, like, SPY did have some really good movement. You know, from 310 to 312 back to 310. But yesterday was a type of day was. You know, you had to take profits, and I feel like the last couple of days, I mean, they really tried to, like, shorts were trying to move in. You know, on Wednesday, you know, we gave up some big gains, came back down, shorts piled in. Then yesterday, you know, it was relatively flat, more shorts piled in. I think they were expecting a gap down. Today, let's see, what's today? Yeah, today's the third Friday of the month, so we have monthly expirations. What's going on, Billy? So, you know, games are being played. Put call ratio is rather high right now. So, happy Juneteenth, Father's Day. Tobin's ready to make money. Christopher, what's going on? What's going on, Billy? Happy Friday, Goldfish. So, yeah, I've been gone the last couple days, but just feel free to call me Chris. Okay, thanks, Chris. Yes, a lot of people are like, do you like to be called Nick or Nicholas or Dan or Daniel or Chris or Christopher? I mean, it's the whole, you know what I mean? So I find it just easy just to not short name everybody, because I just go by the names that they have there. But good call. John Lee, Reggie. 30-minute pre-market on BA. So yeah, I am in BA right now. I do have a credit put spread on there. So I thought it was going to break. I mean, yesterday this thing really ramped up from 187 to 198, but it gave back everything. However, it consolidated pretty nicely, is moving back up. So it's going to be very interesting around here, right on the 198. Can Boeing push 200? Can it do it? I guess we're going to find out. DKNG. So DKNG had a good day yesterday. It ramped up from 40 all the way up to 42, almost 43, but then it gave it all back. However, it is at least holding 40. I mean, this stock is like kind of crazy. It looks like it wants to push higher, but it keeps getting stopped. Last few days, it's been getting stopped out around 42, and it hasn't closed above 42. It just kind of gets rejected. However, it does look kind of bullish. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I have 45 strike calls for July expiration, so it just, like, I mean, I guess it's good. I guess DKNG is good that it's consolidating here, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. I mean, when it ramps up pretty well. But I can't believe, yesterday it went from 39.40 all the way to 43 almost, and then gave it back. Like, bro, yeah, it's like, Carl. It's like the minute that I let go of it, it's gonna like skyrocket to like 60 or something. All right, guys, I'll sell. Just cash at me something for my efforts, okay? I'll close it for you guys to win, and then when you win, just send me $50 or something. I'm just kidding. No, Miss Manley, what's going on? Square, yeah, Square has been on quite the wild run. Square right now over 100 pre-market. I mean, all these like Apple, all these charts really look the same, just riding the 10-day up. However, it's got a bit detached. I would like it to come back down to like the 95, 94 area, kind of consolidate and move back up. But, who cares? Who cares what I think? Yeah, Chris, we got to do more contests. When earnings season's ramping up, we will do more contests. That was definitely fun. Does anybody trade CarMax? CarMax had earnings, but I don't even know what their ticker is. I don't even do they trade options? No. Oh, it's KMX. Let's see here. Do options even trade on this? Kind of light. But premium was at 125% IV, $5 expected move, and CarMax can't come in pretty flat. That's pretty nice. So if you guys sold some premium in here, probably came in pretty nice. I did sell premium on Kroger. I made like $100. Wasn't huge, but I closed it at open. Yesterday I had earnings. Kroger, I was selling the 35.5 strike calls and puts. Yeah, they didn't really crush premium in here as much as I thought they would. They were riding like 140% IV for the weeklies. However, they didn't crush it as much as I thought. It opened pretty flat. It was kind of crazy, but I'm not complaining. I made like 25%, 40%, but I'm not gonna be a hater, but they didn't really crush premium like I thought they would. What's my favorite way to sell premium? I mean, I like credit spreads, and I like for earnings. For earnings, I like to sell at the money iron condors. That's really what's been making like the last quarter earnings season. I mean, we made some pretty decent money just selling at the money iron condors. Neutral play, suck some premium out. That's really what I want. I want a day dog call, but they're expensive. Just do a debit spread. Miss Manley DIA. So back to the Dow, moving back up, breaking out, trying to get past weekly resistance. Weekly resistance right now, right around like 264.50 area. Trying to get above that right now. It needs about another 60-70 cents to break clear of that. It had some pullback yesterday, but it does look like it's set for a bounce. But we'll see. We'll see if this reverses trend or if this is just kind of making a downtrend down to the 250. That's what I would say. For me, Dow is kind of dangerous. Like it's like NASDAQ does well, but then Dow will be like negative 200 points, and NASDAQ will be like positive 150 points. Like it's like crazy. Beyond, BYND. Let's take a look here. Beyond is definitely getting squeezy here. 160 keeps trying to push up. I should probably remove that drawing. I had this previous drawing for when I thought that, it was getting stopped out here. Now we broke above. Check this out though. It's pretty interesting. Beyond, they had resistance here at like 130, 140 area, 139, 140 area, right? And it came down to 48, came back up, ramped up, came up to 148, 147, sucked them in, dropped it to 129, sucked them in again to 145, dropped it all the way down to like 116, pushed up to 140, and then was looking like it was going to sell off again, and then it pushed up higher all the way up to 163. I mean, it's just crazy. This stock is literally insane. However, you just got to be careful. How many weeks out on them calls? I mean, if you're doing a debit spread, you're going to want to probably be in July or August expiration, the monthlies. So Beyond HD, Beyond I think it's going to push higher, but it needs a little bit of momentum. It could get stopped out here, like it has. I mean, look, it came back last couple times. It was up here, came back down to 140. But as you can see, this stock loves to play games. Like this stock loves it. So just be mindful of that. Looking at AMD chart, what happens when the 20 and 50 days moving average converge, expecting a big drop? Are you talking about like the 200-day? I don't normally trade the 20-day. Like the 20-day, I mean, you'll have what they call like death crosses and stuff like that, but it depends if it's moving to the upside or to the downside, But I would say when the the 50-day and the 200-day crossing this way, like on Beyond, is pretty bullish. Now if it's crossing the other way, definitely bearish. Right? Zoom. So Zoom, I've been eyeing. I haven't gotten into a play on Zoom. And Tesla got upgraded yesterday and didn't do anything. I was thinking about selling some 1,000 strike puts, and now it's at 1,018. Amazon. Okay. Anyways, not to lose sight of what we're doing here. Zoom held really nice around 240 yesterday. I mean, really. I mean, this is the flash we saw Zoom. They were sucking the premiums out though. They were stuck on the premium. Let's see what happened to this 240. Let's see what happened to this 240 call yesterday. People probably bought this 240 call expecting it to ramp up. Let's see what happened. Yeah, I mean, people are probably expecting to ramp up. Poor guys. I mean, the 240 call yesterday afternoon was holding steady at like 380, then it was just dropping, and then at the end of the day ramped up because it just pushed up from 239 all the way up to 242. However, it stayed inside. So if you bought down in the consolidation, and this is why it's dangerous. And this is why it's dangerous to buy weeklies, because if you get movement like this flat movement, you can see it's decreasing. And even though it went in your favor, Theta really took it. Implied volatility got crushed, and this thing just dropped like a rock and only just came back to where you were, like basically break even. A lot of risk, no reward, but buying this for like next week expiration, if we could kind of roll through, let's see what it did for next week expiration. However, it's a lot more expensive, of course. But I mean, it was declining, but from 10 you only lost 50 cents. So it went from $10 down to $9.50. You only lost 50 cents, right? So we'll see. That's why, like, day trading right now, sometimes it's better just to kind of push it out one more week just to get some extra time so you're not really hurt that bad. And then you can take advantage of if there's a gap up today. However, with the market moving this high, they may take some money out of Zoom and Docu. Yeah, these stocks this stock's a little bit higher. What is Peloton doing? Peloton's at $51? Man. All right, Hank. Looks like Peloton's riding the bull wave. You just got to buy the pullback. Citron. I don't know if Citron ever got out, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Amazon, some guys were buying the 2,700 calls for like $300 yesterday. Man. Yeah, I mean, Amazon gapping up hard. Gapping up like 30 points right now. Insane. I'm not buying Peloton long ever. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to buy Peloton long, so I probably just stay out of there to the next short setup. But I mean, I'm bearish Peloton, but dang, I mean, they're riding this thing. They're riding this thing nicely now. I mean, it's looking. I mean, if sometimes it helps. I mean, if not to be biased, of course, and it's extremely hard not to be biased just to trade the chart. But if I'm not biased, I'm just looking at this. I'm just looking at this chart. I would just say, looks like it's about to ramp up to 60. You know, that's what I would get in on. I mean, maybe the best bet. Let's see, implied volatility is rather high still. No, not really. Implied volatility is actually really low, 67, 80% on this stock. Thought it'd be a lot higher, but I mean, yesterday had a good day, 49.50 to 51, $2 move almost. It's pretty good for $50 stock. Nick, if you go with the 2021 calls, what is the best thing to do? Go in the money or not? Well, I mean, like, it doesn't, like, for me, no matter what you buy, like, I always try to get the highest delta possible and then kind of evaluate how much money that's going to cost me and what the risk to reward is, you know, and I always try to go for the highest delta possible, which is closer to in the money or at the money, right? You know, like for Peloton, if I was gonna trade the bull side of this and I was gonna go in July, I mean, I would like to get at least a 40 delta. I'd like to get at least a 40 delta. I mean, it's gonna cost me 275. That's for July. And if we go into August, right? If we go into August, this is gonna cost me, you know, the 37 deltas at the 60 strike. So I always try to get the most delta and then kind of evaluate my risk to reward. Like, okay, I'm going for higher deltas. It's going to cost me this much. If the stock moves this much, what's my reward versus, you know, and if it goes against me, like if it goes against me, how much money am I going to lose if it comes back down to, if it comes back down to like 45, how much money am I going to lose on Peloton, you know? Same thing for 2021. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what expiration you're in. 2021, I always try to go for the highest delta possible. Always. I always try to go for it. But that's why you really, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what you're buying, you always have to figure out your entry. Yes, 2021 safe data is not going to really eat you that bad. However, if you're rocking high deltas, if it moves against you pretty large, it's going to hurt, right? Unless you get some IV expansion or something like that. All right, Amazon may push 2,700 right now. Boeing, I would love to see above 200 today. We're going to be pushing up on resistance right now. Boeing looks like it was ramping up. Might hit like 205, 206 today. That's kind of the target for me. I did set an alert to alert me when it breaks 200. Never did yesterday because I was out and about, so I was setting some alerts here. But the good news is if you're in like 2021 expiration, you got time to ride it out. You can take those big hits on paper and just ride it out if you truly believe in it. You know, if you truly believe in that stock. And the bias hasn't changed, and the fundamentals haven't changed, and your actual trade idea, yes, stock's going to go against you, it's going to go towards you, it's going to go against you, and that's just the way it is. New high on Qs. Let's take a look on the Qs. 246. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to push a new high. You know, got a little topped out here. We had a little bit of volatility, but now it's coming back. It's coming back around. I wonder what kind of news they're gonna have on the coronavirus after the Trump rally next week. Should be fun. Roku and Spotify on fire. So Roku I mean, I don't know about Roku, guys. I mean, this has been inside. It was looking bearish. It just popped up after hitting 110, popped up at support here. You know, it did come down to almost breaking 100 back on June 5th. Tapped a little bit. This was probably our signal will get a little bit long here, even though this was downtrending. The dangerous thing about this is before we had this data here when it popped up, I mean, it was making lower highs and you didn't know if it was going to have a longer continuation, like when we saw it from like 167, 168 area all the way down to 120. Yes, there was pops, but overall, I mean, the trend was intact right in here where it kept making lower highs, right? And this was doing the same thing here. I'm like, okay, this could come back down to like 90, even 85 if it keeps kind of trending down. But then at 100, it reverse pivoted back up to 127. And yes, there was some like buyout news and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know about Roku. I've never been a really big believer in Roku. like I get what they do. I just never been a big believer. And then obviously, I don't know. I like trading the stock, but the actual product itself, I mean, I get people buy it and they sell it at Walmart and Target, but outside of the actual hardware sales, where do they actually make money? Like on the service side. So Roku, I haven't been too interested in when it makes those higher lows. I did trade it a bit in here, and yes, it was risky. It was risky, definitely risky. But you know, you were definitely, you know, Roku definitely rewards you, except for like the way that it pivots is so harsh. Spotify, yeah, Spotify. What was the Spotify news this morning? There was Spotify news this morning. Let's try to find it. So, Spotify shares of the music streaming giant jumped 2.5% in the pre-market. Oh, they got an upgrade. They got an upgrade. That's why they were in the. So they also landed an exclusive podcast deal with Kim Kardashian. So I know Joe Rogan, but they also have one with Kim Kardashian. Says we not only see attractive monetization potential from these exclusives, we envision future leverage to premium subscription pricing and label negotiations. Okay. I don't know what a Kim Kardashian podcast would be about, but I'm down with Joe Rogan. You know, Alibaba and JD handled the record 136 billion in sales during 618, one of the biggest shopping events in China. Alibaba reported a gross merchandise value of over 98 billion during the event. JD.com said transaction volume totaled 37 billion. Can you imagine making that much money in one day in revenue? I mean, you know how that's you know how many orders that is? I mean, just crazy. It's like, oh yeah, we did it. 40 billion in revenue in one day, 98 billion. Alibaba reported a gross merchandise value of just over 98 billion during the event. 98 billion. I mean, it's just insane. 226, yeah. So hopefully it can get out of this trend here, break the 230s, and break to new highs here. It's been kind of been just chilling inside. S&Ps are lighting up right now. Dow's trying to get above 400, trying to get plus 400 right now. S&Ps are at 43. Dow's up 392. Nasdaq up 120. Oh, man, Apple's pushing. All right, market's about to open. This is crazy. Market's open in like a minute and a half here. What other stocks you guys looking at today? What other stocks you guys looking at? Oh, FedEx. Johnny, they're going to do DC Comics episode. That's pretty cool. I definitely would be down with that. And look at that. Alibaba drop. FedEx. Me and FedEx have kind of like a love-hate relationship, not because of the stock, just kind of outside there for how they deliver things. But I definitely think, 140, it definitely reverts. I thought that it could definitely fill this gap here, but it leveled out here around the 127, 128, popped up. Could be trying to push for 150 again. Beyond, we did cover that a little bit earlier. Beyond, I do think that Beyond is going to push through, but like I said, it does play a little bit of games. It's trying to push. It does look very bullish here, trying to break out at 160. If it could break out here, I mean, it could, it's got a lot of room to go up if it could break out here. So it might be a good time if there's anybody to pull back, put on some sort of debit call spread for, maybe September. Something like that, because you can't time, because like I said, they play games with this freaking stock, and they just waste a lot of time. But when it pops, it pops. When it pops hard. MKC. So McCormick. It's at 174 right now. So the one thing that I would be careful about this, yes, it had a V-shaped recovery. It looks like it's coming back down to support. Made a high here, potential high here, so it's getting a little bit lower. So just be mindful of these highs. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on. So right now, the market is open. S&Ps are up 40. Dow's up 370. NASDAQ up 108. See what Boeing is doing here. So Boeing's getting stopped out here around 198. We'll see what happens. MKC's got earning next week. Let's see. Do they have volume on these things? Not really. Low IV. No volume, no open interest. I would probably stay away from trading options on that. I mean, like literally no one hits that. No one trades it. Did I look at Fastly? I did not. Let's take a look. And this is gonna pull back one way or another, right? I mean, that's crazy. I'm not one to chase now though. They have pretty low volume too. No one's really trading it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Right now the market's pulling back a little bit. Amazon pulled back down to 2670 area. I mean, I'm not saying like for me, like when I say this is for me and my purposes only, like when I see a chart like this, and if I didn't buy consolidation and it ripped up like this, I'm not going to chase it because the probability of me losing money is a lot higher, right? Should have bought consolidation here and it ripped up hard. And now that it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row, I mean, how long do you think it's going to continue? There's going to be pullback. That's the thing. You don't know. And that's why people get a lot of FOMO. After a while you start to identify where you have a higher success rate than other places. And this, I'll tell you right now, if I buy this right now, this is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. But that's just me. Some people, and then some people will be like, watch this go up to like $80 and people are going to be like, Nick, you're an idiot. But it doesn't really matter. What you do with your money is what you do with your money. I choose not to chase this. That's what I choose to do with my money. I choose not to chase it because I know on a setup like this, how many times I have lost money. I know this is a bad setup for me. And I hate to say it, like if you're looking at Peloton, this would be an ideal setup for me. This chart would be an ideal. Nice consolidation, starting to break out, kind of slowly. It looks like it's going to ramp up to 60. And this is something that I would get in. And maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'll put my bias aside and trade the chart on Peloton and just go with the flow, because it broke out here. It's looking like it's coiling up and wants to shoot up. That's what it looks like. I mean, sure, it could go the other way, but that's what the chart's telling me. But for this stock, FSLY, you're going to get, like for me, I'm going to get myself into trouble. And then maybe I win on this stock and I trade another stock like this. Eventually I'm going to give up those gains is what I'm trying to say. Like if I open this door here and I'm successful, then I'm going to try to do it again and again and again. And eventually I'm gonna lose big. I'm gonna lose on this, and this is not a winning setup for me. It's just not. All right, Tesla's coming down a little bit. Apple's pushing up again. Kind of a little bit of consolidation on this gap up here, right? Just crazy. Trying to make some money today. What do you guys think? Hank's too nervous to go long at the moment. SPXL. Yeah, XPXL looks like it's trying to break out here. 45 area. I definitely think it could push up a little bit more here. However, it did have a pretty big run. I mean, we're still in a buy the dip market, even though they try to scare us with the second wave coronas. The market pushes through. The market pushes through. You know, if you're looking at SPXL, I mean, they brought this thing down to 36. People bought the dip. I mean, the more times that the dip gets saved, the more confident that bulls get, right? And it goes the other way too. The more times that bulls give it up, the more confident bears get. And I feel like the bears, I mean, they've just been bleeding money. Let's see how long they can really last. You know what I mean? Let's see how long they can really last. So right now the market is consolidating. We'll kind of see how it goes. I'm gonna jump off here. I have to place an Instacart order for Costco here, get some food in the house. So I'll be up in the Discord. I'll be around all day. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.